EUC Podcast.
Morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the End User Computing Podcast, episode number 6. We are live for a Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever other holidays are celebrated, special episode to celebrate the end of the year. Today I'm joined by Alex. Say hi, Alex.
Hello.
Anton.
Hey guys.
Chris.
Hey.
Steve.
Yo.
And your host, Dane Young. You can find all of us on Twitters and join the live stream either this time or next time whenever you're able to. So it's been a pretty busy year. Hope you guys are ready for the holidays. Anybody doing anything special for the holidays?
Total unpluggage.
Total unpluggage.
Christian Riley's trying to do that and is failing miserably.
I think he had some problem with at the shopping center just a couple hours ago.
He can't unplug anymore, I think.
I don't think any of us can.
No. That's why I'm working during these holidays.
Anyone going on any trips for the holidays? Or staying local mostly?
Nope, just local.
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 No snow in Europe, so I have to stay local.
Yeah.
How is there no snow in Europe? That doesn't make sense.
Well, there's no winter sport at the moment, at least the most part of Europe.
I have to drive for 2 hours, then I get snow. So not that bad, but
I'll say in Norway, that's saying something.
Yeah,
There's no snow in Norway?
Wow.
That's like no
Even
sand in
Austrian
Sahara,
Swiss,
right?
Global warming is real.
Yeah. Right. Cool. Well, it's been a busy year. I'm sure you guys have been feeling it as well. Between the conferences and trade shows and CTP, V-Expert, MVP get-togethers, it's been a fun year. 2015 is coming to an end. We only have about another week and a half or so. What have been some highlights for you guys over the last year? Anything significant happening either in your personal, professional lives or in the industry as a whole?
Well, Steve here, I'll just start and say that we're living in the future. This is the best time ever. Technology and communication is amazing. It's entering every aspect of life. Our EUC, niche is fantastic. The community's stronger than ever. The technology's getting better, and we're back in space. Cars are driving themselves. It's just amazing.
And so much going on at the same time.
It just keeps getting faster, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, shout out to SpaceX for sticking their landing. That was just amazingly cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. I watched that last night as well. I will admit I did do the whole scrub fast forward thing because the 1 hour live stream was a little much for me, but it's pretty impressive.
I mean, the half hour of fluff leading up to the 10 minutes versus launch and landing is it's fluff. So, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
But it's the beginning of an era. I know, we see space launches and we see satellites, but there's something about this is different. This is the beginning of, we're going to go to Mars. We're going to be traveling in space. We're going to be commuting, landing a rocket back on Earth. That's cool.
Yeah, remember, what do I want to say? 60, 70 probably? Let's say 60 years ago. Air travel was a luxury. Everyone still traveled by train. And now you get on an airplane like it's nothing. 60 years from now, pretty sure we'll be getting on a, not necessarily a rocket. I'm pretty sure we'll have space planes by that time, but you'll be getting on one of those like it's nothing.
That's good
I
stuff.
think we just got Claudio. Is Claudio on now?
There's Claudio.
That's
Oh my
me.
God.
Hey, Claudio.
man.
Hey, Claudio, you can kill your video cam, but thanks for joining.
Oh, there you
man.
go. There's
Yeah, baby. CTP.
Are you wearing your MVP T-shirt or?
I'm at home.
in his kitchen.
Yes, in the kitchen, naked, just using the CTP shirt.
Oh, no.
Yeah, way too much information there, buddy. But we're glad you're here because we have a special award for you today.
Yes.
Yeah, I know lots of people joined it just to see me naked. That's why I came prepared.
Dude,
All right.
seriously, kill the video.
Yeah, seriously, man.
Yeah, let's stop with the video. I don't even know how to stop the video, but let's try.
Yeah, there's a little camera button at the top.
Just hit him to mute.
Oh, this is a phone, so there is no camera button
my
anywhere.
God, he's joining a podcast from a phone. Have you no respect, man?
Hence our previous
Okay, got it.
statement about technology. I mean, think about that. If you, Chris, you're saying travel 60 years ago,
Mhm.
talking 20 years ago. If you said to somebody 20 years ago, "Oh, let me pull up that picture on my phone and text you," they'd be like, "What the hell are you talking about? A phone has a curly cord and it sticks out of the wall."
Have
Yeah,
you ever
no
heard?
kidding.
Have you ever heard that analogy? How would you explain a cell phone to someone from 50 years ago? And the answer is, I hold in my hand a piece of technology capable of accessing the sum total of human knowledge, and yet I use it to look up pictures of cats and to get into arguments with complete strangers.
And that's a whole other issue.
Oh yeah.
Total waste of an amazing thing.
Did you guys see when Back to the Future's anniversary, recently, and they had Doc Brown and McFly come on? Was it Jimmy Fallon? One of the shows. They came out, and that's what they said. He showed him his phone, and he's like, great. You should do it, Chris. But great Scott, this is a supercomputer. Astrophysicists could be using this to, find out the secrets of the universe. They said, no, we just spend little icons to each other all day.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Fallon. That was
Jimmy Fallon.
that was
Yeah,
a cool episode.
The reaction they had when they said, "Oh yeah, most people will be watching this tomorrow while sitting on the toilet." That's disgusting. Oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
All right, back to EUC. What's up?
to
This was a
EUC. We got off
great
topic.
year. This was a killer year. I'm all about hyperconvergence. Don't mean to be repetitive, but it's just so badass. I love
good
it.
stuff.
It's changing everything for the better.
I'm
I
all
would
about
agree
IoT.
completely. So we got some hyperconvergence, some IoT. So 2015 is pretty monumental for you guys for hyperconvergence, IoT. Anton, Eric, what you guys been up to? Or
My
Alex?
year is a NetScaler Exam Mobile Enterprise Mobility year. Absolutely.
Okay,
No time for any other stuff.
gotcha. All right,
So
so
mobility is so hot right now at a lot of customers. I think it's not a hype anymore. It's coming more and more common sense.
So,
Building.
Anton, we've done
Yeah.
some of it, but not a lot. What are the use cases? What are people mostly actually using that for in your world?
For instance, I'm at the moment. I was working at a huge crane company who's using the mobile crane application for their employees, so that a customer can sign a bill actually when they finish the job, write down the materials they used, and then the bill is automatically sent via email on the iPad or tablet directly to the customer, and also to the also automatically uploaded to the SAP system. So those are pretty special use cases, but I see a lot of local government who are using mobility for email and secure web, etc.
yeah.
Also, share files actually
Yeah.
document sharing. Try to get away from Dropbox and WeTransfer, etc.
Are
So
any of
this
your
is-
clients doing the right signature stuff where you can sign documents?
No, not actually. It's
Okay.
most based on on-premises storage, so not off-premises. Most of them are using the on-premises edition, and then use it with Zen Mobile or without to get away from the Dropbox, etc.
Right. You know, if I can pick up on that, Anton, the model that ShareFile brought with control plane in the cloud, data on site is excellent. I think it had a big influence on Citrix Workspace Cloud, and I think that concept is strong. I think it's really going to fly in the future, right? So you keep your workload or your data close to you, but you leverage the cloud for management. I think that's a big deal going forward.
And actually, this is what a hybrid cloud infrastructure probably is going to be in the future. So I think it's not possible to have your entire environment in the cloud at the moment. It's always a hybrid system.
Right.
And I think ShareFile or those applications are the perfect example for how you can have your application in the cloud and
it's funny,
data
funny you mention
on-premises.
that, Anton, because I've heard VMware actually saying the same. And just a year ago, they said completely different stuff. They said everything will be in the cloud. And this year has been all about hybrid cloud. I think 2016, 2017 will also be hybrid cloud. I think we have to live in the hybrid cloud for several years to come.
You know the Gartner quadrants from a couple of years ago, where you saw the analysis that cloud was a hype and then going down to kind of niche and then coming back. Right. I think cloud is doing the same trend now, from totally public cloud transitioning what was a hype, transitioning to a hybrid cloud model, what is going to be more common sense. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think the hype cycle is worn off, and certainly cloud is used by a lot of different folks in a lot of different areas. And one area that we, me, myself, and our company don't historically play a lot in is on the app dev side. There's a lot of public cloud consumption for application development and lifecycle that we historically just are completely blind to, because it's not typically who we're talking to within our customers and who we're selling to and whatnot. So I think everything goes through its phases, and I think for the wide adoption mass market for infrastructure, I think there is some hype cycle type of stuff for Gartner going on right now with cloud and then end user computing as it relates to cloud.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to say this out loud. Has anyone ever gone back and checked Gartner, like how they do against their projections? Just saying. They always sound so awesome.
Well, we were talking about hype. I think we all can make our conclusion.
Yeah,
we should take note of that, Dane, so we can go follow up on that next year.
I agree. I think that would be a good one.
And so, it's not only Gartner, right? It's all the
anybody that's historic for making predictions. That's one thing, I love predictions. It's a good laugh and everything, but you can't take them too seriously. So.
And on the other end, we all know them, so it's a mixed feeling.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, I think for me, one thing that I observed, and maybe it's just because I'm more aware, more coherent of this time around, but it seemed like this year was really a hot year for acquisitions, specifically in the tech company space. And huge congrats to the SolidFire guys for getting picked up by NetApp. I know that deal is still in the works, but it'll probably come to fruition middle of next year or so. That was a pretty cool acquisition. And then, of course, the big one, the industry's largest tech acquisition, the Dell EMC, and then, just a splattering of other tech acquisitions that have happened this year. I think that was, something that I recognized.
Definitely.
Yeah,
it's not new, but it picked up this year, and I think it was also more strategic this year, more important than just a incidental, they bought this little company. Some big seismic things happening.
Yeah, and it shows that Dell needed to do something, which tells us that every traditional hardware pusher needs to do something to evolve. And I guess we'll just see how it plays out. in regards to how Dell will play the VMware stuff in the future. Hopefully it won't crush it, but
if you see what was going on with Dell and the acquisition of EMC, there was a lot of rumor about it, and now, well, it has been happened, and well, everybody says, okay, well, we'll see. Well, that's what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, or a lot of people, seems to be okay with it, and absolutely, it needs to work out next year and maybe the year after to see what will be the results, but maybe it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, the other kind of related to acquisitions is companies either going back on acquisitions or divesting from acquisitions. So like the GoTo spinoff, that was a pretty impactful one for our space, and then Whiptail and Cisco. Cisco announcing that they weren't going to continue dropping funds into Whiptail. I think that was a pretty big one this year as well. For something that had a lot of promise and looked like it was going to be a good acquisition overall, and they just completely backed out of it. So, kind of interesting.
Yeah, and I think we're losing, or we haven't actually talked about it yet, but Citrix actually got into the SDS space by buying Melio.
That's right. Yep.
And, I've been doing Sambolic for a couple of years. I think they have a great product. I hope Citrix doesn't do the wrong thing with Melio, because it could actually turn out to be great for Citrix.
Yeah, Marius just chatted too, pointing out that we kind of touched on containers just chatting it, but containers is a big development. It's not so much EUC, but he was pointing out that NetScaler is going to be running in containers. That's cool.
Yeah.
And there is a movement to kind of apply containers to the end-user app virtualization space. The Spoon people are doing it, and I think that's going to have some legs in it too.
Yeah, I love Spoon. I've been following Spoon for a couple of years. Their stuff is cool. And we have to not forget AppDisk, right? From Citrix.
Yep.
Which is basically, in some sense, also containers.
That's an interesting question, and probably not in scope. Is when is it AppVert, when is it layers, and when is it containers? Maybe we'll talk about that another time.
Next year.
Virtualization and layers and containers. Oh my.
We've got
Very
Esther
cool.
in the chat too.
Yep, we're having a good time. So, any other big ones from 2015, where it was kind of like maybe a trend or something that you noticed that was happening more frequently than just once or twice over the year?
I can actually tell you a couple of stories about how the 3D space has been evolving. Norway is a country with a lot of oil and gas and other heavy production of boats, for instance, shipbuilders, and 3D has really taken off. It's been kind of niche for a couple of years. This year I've been crazy busy with doing HDX 3D from Citrix primarily. And it's cool to see that also Intel is on the horizon with the Iris chipset, and I think it will be a de facto standard for 2016 when Windows 2016 server is out. The browsers are keeping on. They killed Flash, and now everything is going to be HTML5, and it's going to have to require some sort of GPU. So.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'll pull a Gartner and proclaim that 2016 is the year of the GPU becoming mainstream.
We're going there.
Are we recording this? Are we recording this?
Will it become mainstream?
Yeah. So one thing I noticed 2015 was good for, and maybe I felt it more than others, but I felt like there was a lot of controversial around GPUs this year, and to me, I'm kind of like, why? Like, why is this something that's controversial? Like, if you've been building PCs or you've been buying laptops or tablets or whatever, it's just been always part of the conversation, and yet there's been controversy about, well, you don't need a GPU, you don't need a GPU, it screws up the form factor, blah, 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 and all these other things. And I don't think I ever was expecting it to be so controversial.
No, it's kind of funny because, regular users doesn't see it all that at the moment. But even like Firefox, Google Chrome, the, God forbid, the new Edge from Microsoft browser, it all uses more GPU than any browser before them. So, it's gonna. I think it has to be, and it has come to stay, and yeah.
Well, the same goes out with all the new Office systems that are going to be there. It's DirectX that's going to use GPU as well.
Yeah. And also, a lot of websites are actually using WebGL for rendering. And also games are moving to the web graphics library, which is basically a JavaScript API for rendering 3D computer graphics or 2D. In some spaces it's very known already, but I think it'll just.
But on the other hand, what needs to be done, if it will get mainstream, developers needs to make it mainstream as well to make use of GPU rather than using CPU and RAM.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
What you see is a lot of applications are using it. Some don't. Some do it single-threaded or something.
Yeah, Office 360 or Office, they also use it. So.
Yeah, we comment earlier about moving towards standards of HTML5 based stuff, video and graphics is important because it's going to be more of a standard framework. I think it's going to be easier for the vendors to deal with. I think it's going to be easier to render things locally that should be local and server based when they should be. So I think that's a great development.
Don't get us started on HTML5.
Well, it's not even a thing. So it's a nebulous thing, but generally we're talking about the codecs, right? That are standard.
But I think HTML5 could be the perfect scenario for make use of a standardization both on all kind of GPU, CPU, and RAM, etc.
I agree.
But the problem with HTML5 is that there are, 20 protocols on HTML5 as well. It's not one application as it used to be developed 5 years ago, or more, maybe more.
The good thing is there's been rapid, fast iteration in HTML5. It improves and adds features very, very quickly, and that I would say is another thing this year, Dane, is that we saw Citrix adopt some of that mentality, right? I thought the emergence of ShareFile and Cloud Workspace really brought that idea into an enterprise software company, and I've been amazed at watching the speed of iteration. That's been really exciting, and I think that's going to accelerate and continue. I think Enzo at VMware is driving them that way as well, and I think these established players are starting to get more nimble and more DevOps-like, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, the rapid iteration, I think that's primarily the piece that you're talking about, that we saw with the browser app service, and then with the App DNA Express feature that they launched to Workspace Cloud. And the other one, the other big one for the transition from IMA to FMA is multi-site. They had multi-site up and running in Workspace Cloud before Workspace Cloud even GA'd. And we've been talking about needing multiple site type of approach in FMA pretty much since they told us that
wasn't
was
there.
going away. Yeah.
Needed it since it wasn't there.
Exactly. And it was funny. I had somebody bring that up to me again today, and I was like, oh yeah, you keep reminding me that it's still not in the product.
Right.
I'm lost sometimes thinking, oh yeah, it's there, because we keep having these discussions about futures, and it's like, no, it's not in the product. You have to have databases and infrastructure in every single site. So, and I think 2016 we may see better adoption of some of these newer technologies that the mainstream companies are coming out with, like Workspace Cloud. I think time will tell on that.
I think Claudio's back.
Claudio's not on his phone anymore.
Claudio has a picture of a car on his.
Yeah, I think it's his Lambo.
Surprise.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Hey.
There was an echo when you first joined, but I think that's because you were joined twice.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways.
Maybe you can tell your opinion on HTML5, Claudio.
Yeah, Claudio, what do you think about HTML5?
Or
my
Flash,
opinion
like
is-
Esther said.
They're all bullshit,
Thanks for your comment.
Back.
I had this phrase in my head in Claudio's voice, and damned if it didn't come out.
Maybe
Think that out
we should
loud.
let Claudio speak to Alexia.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
I have one here. She listens to me. It's not like my wife.
Well, I'd say, the more we talk about it, this has been an amazing year, more than I even thought as I hear you guys add observations. And there's a lot of notable things, a lot of important and very fast developments. I think it's just going to keep going and keep getting better.
And ramping up. I mean,
Yep.
have fun keeping up with this.
Exactly.
Yep. So maybe what would be fun, since we've kind of done a recap of some of the trends or mega trends in 2015, what would be fun is if we share some of the end user computing 2015 awards that we've come up with. What do you think, Steve? You want to lead that one off?
That would be awesome, yeah. I think you guys all have it up. You can jump in. But I think this is a lot of fun. We are completely unqualified, uncertified. No one's given us any right to do any of this, and none of the facts have been checked.
Yep.
So this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. But
You only get
let's go
a
down the
virtual
list.
prize, huh?
What's that?
You only get a virtual prize, so no
Right.
money. Or,
Yeah, you just get a mention on a very niche podcast.
Yeah, that'll go to like 20 followers. So congratulations, you get nothing.
Yeah.
and maybe you can earn some bitcoins.
Right, there you go. So let's start off with the podcast, because obviously the EUC podcast is the very best. But if you had to pick something other than the EUC podcast as an excellent community resource, the 2015 EUC award goes to Jarian and Andy for the
Frontline Chatter podcast.
which
Woohoo!
incredibly good content, great guests, and those guys are super consistent.
Yeah,
There's
they
always
are.
new
So,
episodes.
Applause.
So yay! Virtual
Yay,
applause.
good job.
So I think that was really cool. And unfortunately, Thomas couldn't make it, but I think we unanimously believed in giving the best graphics for end user computing award to NVIDIA. They've done some outstanding things with their hardware and working with the various hypervisor EUC providers, and they really have led the pack. I think that's going to get hot, the competition, soon, but I think they've kind of created the category.
Can I just throw like a wrench at NVIDIA as well?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Because going with that licensing and now trying to just milk the cow, screwing people over by licensing on a per user basis on the GPU, that's pretty bad. If the
I
card
can
was
second Claudio on that. It's
Claudio,
the worst idea since Windows ME.
Okay, so let me update that. The best graphics end user computing award goes to NVIDIA, and the worst idea for licensing.
Goes to NVIDIA.
2015. Congratulations.
Good call, Claudio. Good call.
So
Claudio,
Claudio, we busted their balls pretty good on a previous episode. You missed that one, but yeah, they've definitely been hitting it and getting hit up from all kinds of angles around the licensing. So
I think they're feeling it. I think another 2015 award for EUC goes to the longest running rumors that never actually happened. Number one is Microsoft's going to buy Citrix any day now. And number two, that Microsoft is going to crush Citrix and put them out of business. Neither of which has happened. And it's just funny because, that and a few others are just these rumors that just never go away and have never happened. So that's our 2015 longest running rumor award.
Don't forget Cisco.
Well,
that's one thinking the same
thing. Although I want to tell you a funny thing about that. I didn't include it because I think it's completely plausible now, based on some recent events. But we'll address that another time. Yep. The Hypervisor That Won't Die Award, EUC 2015, goes to Zen Server. It's back. We thought it was here. We thought it was gone. It's
the hypervisor that everyone would love to hate, but it just won't die.
You can't. It's cute. It's still around.
It's cute and cuddly.
And the next release is going to be called Zen Server Phoenix.
Oh, really? Yeah, that would be perfect. We think this is probably going to be a perpetual award, so we'll call it the 2015 EUC Year of VDI award goes to next year. Right?
Absolutely.
It's always next year.
Next year is definitely going to be the year of VDI.
And that's what we have to fact check Gartner on. That kind of is what kind of triggered it for me.
I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, I thought there was a year of VDI every year for the last few years.
Yeah.
But on a more serious note, the best EUC technology acquisitions and integration unanimously goes to VMware. They've done a great job of buying up smaller functionality companies and casting a consolidated EUC vision, and they've got some great people working there. So kudos for that. Any other comments on that?
No, I just they've made a couple and they've integrated a couple this year, from the Cloud Volumes guys to Amidio, and I think AirWatch was in the last year or year and a half or so as well. So just really got good job to those guys. And then they acquired Nicira, but that integration has taken a lot longer than anybody would have expected. But we're having lots of conversations with customers around network virtualization, lots of deployments actually. Two of our customers have large-scale deployments of NSX. So really good job taking these lesser-known companies, integrating them in the fold, and bringing real value to your customers. So good job, VMware.
Absolutely.
I just have one comment on the EUC, their acquisitions. They did some interesting stuff, but if you look at, for example, the profiles, the Amidio acquisition, no matter what we think about Amidio or VMware, it's a very, very dated technology, especially considering what FS Logics is doing, or even what, as I mentioned, like one of these days on Twitter, RDS has a built-in mechanism to do the same as FS Logics and to redirect the whole profile, to like a VHD, what for whatever reason Citrix doesn't expose. So, VMware is like, sure, they acquired some cool stuff, but at the same time, they acquired stuff that I wouldn't do it, especially considering it's 10 plus years old, like dated technology.
Interesting. Good feedback on that.
I think you've just described VMware there.
Yeah, well, yeah, they like to buy stuff. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Yeah, no filter. That's a problem around the holidays. Hey, on the subject of VMware, there's the special award for the fastest transition from an EUC independent consultant to an EUC CTO. Goes to Sean Bass.
I wonder who that goes to. Yay, Sean Bass.
Awesome. He's a CTO at VMware, but he went from just one area to the whole ball of wax, including mobility and desktop. So that was pretty awesome. Sean deserves it. He's a brilliant guy. He has like 2 brains worth of power in one. It's amazing. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, so I'm gonna open up a can of worms there. Does he still work for Harry, or is he parallel, or is he above Harry now? Ooh. How's that work?
I think the answer is yes.
That's a great question.
We should actually try to get Sean on the show just like in the start of next year.
Pick his brain.
Absolutely.
His brain has lots for pickings, so we will be sure to do that.
Yeah, you just have to up the baud rate when you enter that.
9600 doesn't quite cut it.
No. You got to be like 10G. On the subject of silly CTO things, the best-looking EUC CTO goes to Ruben Sprout.
Absolutely.
He's got the CTO position at Atlantis, and he's a good-looking, sharp guy. The per capita EUC skills goes to the nation of the Netherlands. It's a freakish amount of talent and skill in that little country. And anytime we're at an industry conference or meeting, it's like the percentage of Dutch is ridiculous. So,
which country?
Netherlands. Oh,
which company is that, Anton?
Yeah, which one? So you're representing your alma mater.
I'm always living in. I'm almost living in Belgium,
that,
so.
Esther?
Oh, okay. Well, we still count.
No, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In the category of what's old is new, this one is fun for me. The 2008-9 Nirvana phone. Chris Fleck and Jim Moyle and I were involved in this, demonstrating your phone is your computer. It returned this year as Continuum and other scenarios where you carry your phone around and it's your primary interface, it's your primary compute platform. That's pretty cool. That's an old idea that maybe wasn't quite ready, but I think it's going to fly. What do you guys think about that idea?
I think it's pretty good. It's making a comeback.
Cool.
Now, the real question is, when will we actually get proper clients for the Nirvana phone?
Next.
Well, Microsoft has that. They announced it
do.
already, and they showed us at during the summit. So that was pretty cool to see the RDP client working and being able to connect to RDS and launch anything like Visio on your phone when it was docked to the little USB-C dock, I think it was. So pretty cool. It works, that's for sure.
Yeah, the key is that it adopts the native resolution of the display you send it to. So Citrix has a great proof of concept with the Workspace Hub. You take your iPhone and you swipe it onto an HDMI monitor. So the concept's great. The early implementations look good. We just got to see if people adopt it and if the form factor works, right? Does it actually work in practice that you bring a phone and then you switch to keyboard, mouse, and a larger monitor?
But of course, an iPhone won't use a mouse. Is that not correct?
Well, it uses the X1 mouse.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It uses the Citrix hack mouse.
Oh, yeah. See?
The hacking mouse.
The hacking mouse.
Yeah. The next category.
Christian, hang on,
Okay,
Steve. This is too funny. I can't let this one go. So Christian Riley on Twitter is saying, "Wait, what? Is this a Mystic Universe all over again?" That's in regards to Ruben Sprout being called the best-looking CTO. It's like, wait a second. This is Miss Universe happening all over again. Sorry, it was too funny. I couldn't let it go.
That's great. That's great. Is that in the chat or was that Twitter? I didn't see that.
No, it's just on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Christian's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, that's awesome. They can battle that one out.
Yeah.
Best open source development, I think, hands down, goes to the Raspberry Pi thin client platform.
Absolutely.
That is just cool.
It convinced me to buy a device made for Linux, and that is accomplishing something.
Yeah. And just the whole idea, Raspberry Pi is really a symbol of the maker community, of people coding and making things themselves, taking inexpensive hardware. Another huge trend, we mentioned IoT briefly, but that's an undercurrent to all this, is there's kind of a shift, right, down to low-cost technologies that people can implement the way they want.
Make your
So
own.
it's a big deal.
I mean, how long ago? Again, we'll throw it back 60 years. People were making their own furniture in their woodworking shops in their house for fun and profit. Okay, what are we going to make in the next 50 years using Raspberry Pis and IoT and whatever else?
Probably laser shooting kitties. I'm just saying. I don't know. Just an idea that came to me.
No, what possible use would there be for something like that?
Oh, just you wait and see.
Yeah. Good
Well,
stuff.
that's what the internet was made for, right? The internet was made for sharing videos about laser shooting kitties.
Right. Well, at least kitties.
But on a serious note, though, other than the Raspberry Pi, I also think the little stick, big surprise from Intel. The Intel stick, or what it's called. Is it that? Compute stick?
Yeah, the Intel Compute Stick.
Yeah. That's also a cool device for 2015.
Absolutely. Yeah, they were giving a bunch of those out. I think it was at Synergy, the Intel booth. They had a bunch of them with thin links that they were giving out as thin clients for Citrix. So, yeah, it's definitely a cool device.
Intel's doing a ton of stuff, not just little computers, but flash memory, their line of IoT type processors. Intel's bringing it hard. They missed the boat on mobile, and they're really gearing up for kind of the IoT phase of things.
Yep.
Cool. Next category, the other best-looking EUC CTO goes to Christian Riley of Citrix.
Oh, he gets the second best. I'm pretty sure that's worse than
the world's
not
biggest Beach Boys fan from Citrix. That's a joke from Facebook this morning. The biggest twist in 2015, I think a lot of people share this feeling. Microsoft is cool again. Like, when did that happen?
Absolutely.
You know?
I saw that article as well.
We actually did a count, Ruben and I, at the CTP meeting, and I think we went actually almost a tie between the amount of Macs and Windows laptops in the room this time. And it used to be like 80% Macs.
Yeah, it was like everyone was a Mac except Benny.
Yeah. I never owned a Mac.
You didn't mistakenly count my Chromebook as a Mac, did you?
Oh, okay. Well, no.
Sorry.
But so Microsoft is cool, and Benny is cool again too. He's always been cool though. He's awesome. Okay, I think we have a lot of contact with product managers and people inside these companies, and there was also a unanimous vote that the best product manager of the year for EUC was Rachel Berry.
Absolutely.
Her contributions to graphic, promoting, and everything else have been unparalleled. She's funny, brilliant, communicative, just did all the right things.
Yep. And, we all love Rachel. Thank you for everything you're doing for the community, both at Citrix and outside of Citrix. We wish you all the best in whatever 2016's journey has in store for you. And congratulations for being the best PM for end-user computing in 2015. Woohoo!
Hear, hear. Second motion.
Chris, I think that requires that we talk to your friend over there. So can you hook us up on that one?
Alexa, applause.
If I had hands, I'd be clapping.
It's the thought that counts.
It's the thought that counts. Alexa wants to applause, but she just can't. She doesn't have hands.
She is snarkier than Siri ever thought to be.
Awesome.
All right, so in the category, we've had a lot of different things so far. We're down to our last couple, but we looked at acquisitions and integration. But, part of that is talent and hiring. And the best overall industry hiring of experts in EUC category goes to Atlantis Computing, hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Great job.
I mean, they've got a lot of brain power, and they're doing great stuff. And the final award for 2015 End User Computing Podcast. Now, this is the North American Award for the most pervasive use of F-bombs. Goes to Claudio Rodriguez.
Of course. Claudio, congratulations.
Oh, thank
Congratulations.
you. But I used it where it made sense, right?
Yeah, we have your prize at the door, so you can take it on your way out.
But you're supposed to be speechless, Claudio.
Now that's just North America.
Yeah, I think, Steve, we have one for APAC as well.
We have
EMEA.
Well, yeah, and EMEA's up next. So the most pervasive use of F-bombs in 2015 in EMEA goes to Jim Moyle.
Jim Moyle, congratulations. Woohoo, yay, Jim. He'll even interject some F-bombs into his presentations. That takes... Yeah.
Sorry. Mentioning APAC gives me an idea. We need to give APAC a award as well.
Yes.
The guy that's getting the award is Warren
Warren Simonson.
Yeah, Warren.
Yeah.
Yay, Warren!
Yay, F-bomb Warren. Awesome.
Yeah.
We pretty much got worldwide F-bomb coverage at this point, I think.
Yeah, we need to get some people at the Arctic, but let's sort that out for the next year.
Well, awesome. It's been a great year. We're happy to recognize some of those people, some serious, some not so serious, but it's an amazing community of people, and I'm so glad to be part of it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's very cool. So thanks for leading that charge, Steve. We appreciate you taking the charge on all of our awards for the year. So there's a bunch of stuff, a couple of us went to the CTP meetings, which were in Florida. Have to be hush-hush about a lot of that stuff, but then there's also Summit that's coming up beginning of next month. What are you guys looking forward to over the next month or so in terms of personal or professional lives as it relates to technology or anything that we talk about on this podcast?
Free trip to Las Vegas? I don't know.
Free trip to Las Vegas. All right.
It's called Citrix Summit, and when I mean free, I mean company paid for, so there you go.
Yep.
Well,
All right.
and you have Synergy in May as well, so...
Yeah,
That's
2
your blessing.
trips to Las Vegas. I'm just going nuts,
And
man.
if you want to, you can go there for both VMworld and Nutanix Next, right?
Phew, I don't know, man. 4 times in a year. That's
We should just actually stay in Vegas from
Just stay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We can record another Hangover series.
Quit my job and sit at a poker table for a year.
You
I don't know
might
about
make
that.
more money. Knowing you,
I
Chris,
might.
you could make more money that way.
We should just do the EUC podcast, the movie, right?
Yeah. That is that something like The Hangover, or is that different?
That's
That's
the
definitely
equivalent.
Hangover.
Equivalent. A bit different.
So how does that movie begin? Sean Bass wakes up, doesn't know what happened, and he works at Citrix now?
With a tiger in the room. With a tiger in the room.
Yeah, he's got a tiger in the room. How'd this tiger get there?
Wait. We need a polar bear.
Pretty funny. So you guys are looking forward to Vegas. Anything else going on? Anything you guys are looking? Well, obviously Steve's looking forward to shutting down for a little bit, so that'll be good.
Yeah, I'm shutting down for a little bit.
So when do you go on shutdown, Steve?
It actually started right before this podcast, so this is my
Perfect.
first vacation activity. This is awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You starting back on Monday or not?
Oh no, I'm shutting down.
He's shutting down.
January
until the
4th
fall.
is my
I
next.
think it's well deserved, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thanks.
well deserved. Good job.
January 4th. I mean, things always come up, but it's just mentally checking out.
Yep. Very cool. Anybody else doing anything fun over the next month or so, or looking forward to any announcements, product releases? I'm actually kind of bummed. We got to wait till the middle of the year, at least at this point, is what it sounds like for Windows Server 2016. I was really looking forward to lighten up the new year with 2016 launching, but don't think that's going to happen.
Well, Dane, you touched on earlier the announcement, which I missed because I was so heads down the last 24 hours closing out the year. But NetApp acquiring SolidFire.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. The other prediction I made, and I'm seeing validated by people that actually know what they're talking about with Flash, is that by the end of 2016, we'll hit that inflection point where Flash will be, cheaper and higher capacity. Obviously, faster performance. But
Right.
2016 is probably the year of that curve hitting, and SolidFire under NetApp is really interesting. It's kind of like Zen server coming back to life. That could breathe a whole new set of interest in NetApp. I mean, their software's good, but they weren't, they were kind of still in the old model,
Yeah, and they had actually had failed attempts to enter into the Flash space as well with FlashRay. I don't know if you remember that product or not, but they announced that they were killing FlashRay earlier this year, stopping development on that and redirecting all those resources to Data ONTAP. And then this SolidFire announcement kind of came out of left field over the last week or two. It had been rumored in the Register and others. and then it just became formalized yesterday. 870 million is what SolidFire is going to be getting for the NetApp buy. And just to kind of put that into perspective, I put this out on Twitter last night, but a little over 5 years ago, HP bought 3PAR, and the 3PAR buy price was 2.4 billion. So to think that HP paid 3 times as much for 3PAR as NetApp is paying for SolidFire just kind of puts things into perspective. It's very interesting to me.
It's a really good. That's an interesting comparison because they paid a lot for 3PAR,
right?
And not only is SolidFire flash, it's a different concept in storage. It really is software defined. It guarantees performance. It allocates blocks using a different algorithm. It's pretty next generation, and that's a big deal, I think, for NetApp. I don't know how it's going to shake out. It always comes down to how you execute, but it's a new storage concept, and it's powerful.
Absolutely.
Marius says he's focusing on, or next year he expects more on Azure Stack. Answer is on Microsoft, Azure, and also NetScaler CPX as well.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Absolutely, Azure Stack. So I expect a lot of stuff going on next year and the year after.
Well, there's been a ton of buzz about a number of different technologies this year, and maybe 2016 we'll start to see the mainstream, start to plan for a lot of them being in our regular projects, and it should be a lot of fun. I think 2015 has been quite a year, actually. It's been a very full year, and I'm looking forward to whatever 2016 brings about as it relates to technology and computing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if 2016 can top 2015. That would be really hard, but it's possible.
Well, we will have to do our awards again next year and see who gets the best looking CTO award and who gets second best.
Maybe you will get the best looking CTO then.
Oh, that would be something.
Ooh, yeah. But now are Ruben and Christian going to be dressing up all year and trying to look their best?
Yeah. We got to get on the Miss Universe pageant. So that was really something. I don't know if you guys saw the outcome of that, but that was just really bad design on the cards that the dude had to read for the Miss Universe pageant. So
hopefully Steve has double-checked the awards before he spoke out.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're taking back your award. We accidentally misread that. We're so sorry.
Would be really happy with it.
That's awesome.
I don't think anybody back the F-bomb award, so North America, Claudio is king, Jim reigns in Europe, and Warren down under, so no debate there.
Absolutely. So as you're looking into 2016, maybe just go around the room. Let's talk about conference schedules. I know it's common that we all plan out what conferences we want to go to, which ones are we going to submit to present at, stuff like that. So as you're looking forward to 2016, what are some of the anticipated conferences or just different community events that you're going to? Just interested to see what you guys are looking forward to.
E2 EVC in Dublin. It would be epic.
Very
cool. You guys
all
should come over.
Dublin. I'm not sure my wife will let me. I've heard mysterious things happen to people in Dublin.
Maybe bring her as well.
I guess that's true. If I get her into trouble with me, she's a lot less angry about it.
We can probably think about an award as well for her.
Ah, there you go.
Wondering who's coming to Summit with you guys?
I'll be.
DANE is coming. Steve is coming.
I'll be there.
Yep.
Okay. Are you coming, Chris?
I am, in fact.
Okay.
Alex, you coming?
I guess you kidding? Oh,
as it looks right now, no.
All right.
But it might change. We'll see.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, and probably a number of others from the CTP
I'm
group.
still wondering if I will be there.
Okay.
I have to check out.
Yeah.
So I'm doing Summit and Synergy, presenting at both, covering hyperconvergence at both, and
With
always
the best
go to
looking CDO, right?
What's that?
You are presenting with the best-looking CTO.
Yes, I am actually.
So you already
with Ruben. Yep, at both events.
Yeah.
And then Bryforum is just a given. Bryforum is just so much fun. It's like the greatest people, the best content. It's a small conference. Whether you present or not, it's always great. I'm also running the Citrix user group for Phoenix Metro area. We had a great kickoff year. We had 4 meetings in 2015 that all went really well.
That's awesome.
I also attend the Phoenix IoT group with some of the OctaBlue guys and a bunch of cool developers from around here. And I'm looking to some new things. I'll probably be at Nutanix Next this coming year. I didn't make it last time. A lot of good stuff.
It's awesome.
I hope I can make it to Bryforum US this year. You guys know when the call for topics is going to open for Bryforum?
They don't typically do it as far in advance as Synergy. I think Synergy is one of the furthest, close to 6 months in advance they cut it off. So I think it'll probably be a month or two in advance.
Okay.
But either way, whatever conferences we're going to, we definitely got to connect and do a live EUC podcast. That was a really cool experience at Bryforum. And for any of our listeners or those on the live stream, if you ever want to catch the broadcast live, if we're at a local conference or at a user group or anything else like that, we'd love to have you. Love to have you on the show.
If we find you loitering around, we will drag you in front of a mic.
Well, Chris, you're really good at dragging people kicking.
Damn right I am.
Chris, even boy Alexia. So
we've also got a number of repeat offenders in the chat room with great inputs. I think we should have them on the show next year.
Oh, yeah, I see Esther. I see
Eduardo, Marius.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. Well, if there's nothing else that you guys think of, I think we can go ahead and wrap things up. This has been a fantastic holiday special end user computing podcast. It was a phenomenal 2015. A lot of us are really looking forward to 2016 and what the year will bring. Is any closing thoughts before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I want to jump in a quick poll. How many EUC podcasts do we expect next year?
Probably somewhere between 6 and 12. Why? What's going on?
No, I think we should go for 12.
Okay.
I like a monthly schedule.
Yeah. Let's double it now. You're now on the 6th podcast, so.
You're putting us out there, committing on the air and to a streamed audience that we're committing to a monthly cadence. That's quite a lot to commit to, Anton. Thanks for that.
Yeah, but think about what Gartner commits to every year.
Okay.
I guess that's true. In comparison to what Gartner commits us to every year.
So you mean we can promise on 100 and only deliver, another amount?
25%. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, perfect.
No, that sounds good, Anton. And I think one of the things we've been talking through is finding a good time that works, both for the listeners as well as hosts and co-hosts. So yeah, hopefully we'll pick a cadence that works, and then people can learn to tune in at right around that same time every year or every month.
And apparently Warren is aware of his award he just posted on Twitter. So.
Yeah. They must be awake down there and down under.
What he says is passion drives progress. So.
Yeah.
Maybe he can jump in someday.
Oh, we'd love to have him, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be great.
Yeah. The godfather of Control-Alt-Delete. Cool. Any other closing thoughts?
Just that it's been an awesome year. It really has been amazing. And this podcast has been a blast. So I'm looking forward to doing it more.
Thanks for all the effort.
Connecting with more of the community. And let's just keep rocking.
Everybody have a great Christmas and next year, 2016.
Yep.
All right.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year to everyone.
Take care of all your fingers.
Yep. And whichever holiday you celebrate, enjoy it. Spend some time with your family and loved ones. Enjoy the New Year. Kissing your significant other as the ball drops, or whatever your tradition is in Europe.
And bring some snow to Alex.
And bring some snow to Alex so Anton and Alex can enjoy their skiing and snowboarding.
Yep, snowboarding for the win.
Thanks, everybody. And for the record, this is End User Computing Podcast, episode number 6. Wrapping up, you can follow us online, eucpodcast.com, or on Twitter. Thanks, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Take care.
Cheers, Dan. And
Happy New Year.
See you later.